Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. I greet you in the words of BB Fahodier and peace. Not gonna be long. At least I'm not planning on being long. Uh, tonight. I know today is so-called Thanksgiving. Um, and as you probably know, just by following my energy, that I'm not a Thanksgiving guy. So I labeled this video Thankstaking. And I'm not gonna be like scripted and talk about the history of Thanksgiving. I think we kind of all understand that, even for the ones of us that are enjoying dinner right now, we kind of have some understanding of that. And sometimes it's like you beating a dead horse, and so the people start not to listen. We can give the same Christmas lectures, we can give the same Thanksgiving lectures, Halloween, yada yada yada. Guess what? Next year, guess what people are going to be celebrating on the last Thursday of November? Thanksgiving. Guess what they're going to be celebrating on December 25th? Christmas. So, I try to get out of this, lecturing about the history of it. Now, if somebody wants to understand what it's about, then the conversation is different. But this is something that just kind of hit me right now, and I have to. What I'm doing now is learning how to record or speak when I feel it. And I was watching with a friend of mine watching this documentary on Netflix. It's called Reggie Yates, The Outside Man, or something like that. I could be wrong on the Outside Man, but it could be that. But I know it's a gentleman named Reggie Yates. And there are pluses and minuses, like with everything. There are pluses and minuses about the documentary, yeah. But overall, I like what the gentleman is doing in the video. So what prompted this one on this day of slaughter and massacre? Like I said, I'm not gonna love you to sleep of what Thanksgiving represents. But I think we know. He was talking about like the relationship between the people, meaning my people. You know on here when I say the people, I'm talking about my people. The relationship between the people and the pigs. And the pigs, being the police officers. And this is around this time, he's in Ferguson talking about the Mike Brown murder. And we understand now. Here's two things I want to talk about on this. I'm glad. Like, hey, I appreciate you, Ricky Schroeder. I appreciate you for what you did, Cracker. Because as I tell my people, you confirmed why I will not ever trust you again. Why I will never ever trust your culture, your kind. I understand y'all can. One thing I don't like is for people to try to guilt me into loving my enemy, or people to try to make it seem like I'm closed-minded for not accepting the most brutal, stankiest, filthiest beast on earth, being the Europeans and Caucasians. That's always kind of like irritating when you read history on top of history. Not my story. This is his story. This is what he told you he did. But somehow our people personalize it as if you're lying or you just making up some stuff. I don't know who following me on this, but I can remember I did a 100 years of lynching. I read pages out of 100 years of lynching. And I'm gonna tell you, that is a slow, painful read, just to understand the brutality and the nature. So I thank you, Ricky Schroeder, for jumping behind the little murderer Kyle Rittenhouse. It's showing your true colors. One thing I'm gonna thank you for is showing how y'all are always on code, or showing how y'all are always unified in solidarity. You showed how, and you guys read it for yourself. Read the article for yourself when he's saying, hey, this innocent kid, man, this cracker killed people at a protest. But they get behind their own. while we debate, and I really want to know in the comment section, us as black people, I'm talking to my people, what are you thankful for? What are you thankful outside of life, health, strength, job, right state of mind? What are you thankful for in the United States of America? As a black person, what are you really thankful for that's not attached to something plastic or material or somebody else or a family member? Not saying nothing wrong with having attachments to those things, but what are you thankful for? And so, also back to the Reggie Yates documentary, he went and talked to the pigs of Ferguson, and they had their volunteers out there. You know, they were really supporting. And one thing about the one of the white women that was on there, I think she said they raised over $1 million for Darren Wilson. $1 million. But see, I understand the divide and conquer of what we have been infected with. So a lot of this self-hate, this racism, white terrorism, that's still embedded within us. Even ones like me, I feel like there are still levels of white supremacy, but I call it racism, white terrorism. Shout out to Baba Kamal Cambone. But racism, white terrorism, because that's what it is. They only appear superior through their terrorism. They only seem superior through their acts of terrorizing people and willing to terrorize people. But she said they raised $1 million. And we know what he did to Mike Brown. Ain't no need to go back down there. We know what he did. We know how, and some of the things I wrote down, and it didn't trip me out, but it let me know that there's no progress that we keep saying, well, we're making progress in this country based off of what? We're making progress based off of what? One of the things, and I noted, and I said, the funny thing is that they will label you anti-police, right? They'll say we're anti-police, right? But we're not allowed to label them anti-black. You get what I'm saying? They label us anti-police for resisting their brutality, their murder, their taking. But we're not allowed to label them as racist, anti-black. Because see, just like I be talking about the what? Tavistock Institute. How America engineers your mind to where we black people, we're watching these things. And that's why I love Nana Malcolm. He said what he said about the media, it will have you loving those who doing the oppressing and basically pointing fingers at the ones that's being oppressed. And that's what happened because we will watch stuff like Sam Dubose. One that really personally affected me, Eric Garner. You watch these things, and through their social engineering, they will say something so long, or we've had a repeating history of them saying, "Well, he did snatch away from the police. Well, he was talking a little too long." We start to rationalize in our mental side of why it's okay for them to kill us. Kill us. Not detain, not arrest. We find ways to justify them killing us. Since when did the pigs, I know when, but this is just a rhetorical question. Since when did the pigs, part of their description was to murder us? Traffic violations, failure to yield. No, this is the one that tripped me out. In the documentary, in the Reggie Yates documentary, he goes to see this little white lawyer, and the lawyer is going down list of offenses that mainly affect us. But the one that tripped me out was the, let's see where it is. Mm, there was a sagging law, and this one right here, a manner of walking. A manner of walking. So they can say you broke the law. You walking in a way. And I remember, shout out to Dr. Joy DeGroot and her PTSD, post traumatic slave disorder book or syndrome. And I can remember in her lecture that she did. Check out that lecture. And she was talking about how, back in previous years, that they would label us, these things were criminal, looking menacing. And that was the first thing that popped in my mind when I heard that manner of walking, sagging. So just like me and my brother Rashidi, shout out to my brother Rashidi. It's like we were saying in our last video when we were talking about the system or the industry or this of how they socially engineered our minds. So not that these are not reasons for them to kill us, but these are justifications. These are the excuses they use that we sag our pants. We look menacing and threatening. Our manner of walk, our manner of tone. And so we hear this so much, what we say, well, we are the only one that have to have a talk with our children about the police. And we've been conditioned to be these scared slaves so long that we think it's protocol. We think this is a part, we think this is normal. Because we're so used to being abused. We're so used to being enslaved. We're so used to being harassed, threatened, beaten. That's all we know. So we say, hey, get in line. Why you talk so much, Obasi? You starting trouble. Because that's still that scared slave in us. You're going to mess up. What are we thankful for in America? What are we thankful for? I had to at least say something about that. Manner of walking. This system have us so wrapped and bent that they can tell you how to walk. You get it? And if you don't walk that way, they will kill you. And get away with it. Because you broke the law. And so, you know what I'm learning about doing these videos too? That these things are therapeutic for me. I love the realest videos. Where people can get on here and just be themselves. We have such a problem with being ourselves because part of the problem is we don't know ourselves. We don't know. But I just had to share that on this misgiving. So y'all indigenous aboriginals, we been here first. Y'all eat good. Y'all get fat with y'all woke ass. How many of y'all who grandmama told y'all was Indian? Sitting right now eating a plate, nice fat plate. That's why I can't take y'all guys serious. They find solutions. We walk around arguing over who's this, who's that, who's black, who's not, who the prince of Pan Africanism, Umar Johnson, who Hebrew, more, little bucket babies. That's what I call y'all, more little bucket babies. We don't get it. Y'all don't get it. $1 million they raised for that, probably over that. Ricky Schroeder helped get this killer out of jail. They ain't walking around talking about they Protestant. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. But you better understand, because vaccines is on the way. It ain't no scare tactic. You can look, you can read yourself. Know your enemy. They're isolating us so we can be one by one, smallest. A lot of them, a lot of my people, a lot of them talking about they had virtual dinners. What this thing gonna look like 3 years from now? Or do y'all think that they're gonna knock this off? Total control. Total control. Y'all better get it. Y'all better understand. So I'm not gonna talk your head off long. I just wanted to come on and say something and hit them shares or hit them thumbs up. You know, I appreciate the couple of views I do get. Hey, cause look, you could have none. This ain't about the numbers. It's about the message. I've been through it. But we got to keep persevering because we African. At least I'm African. I don't know what the rest of y'all are. I'm African. I'm proud. So I leave you in the words that I greeted you with. A BB for Hodier, African liberation. African liberation for my people. For the rest. Peace.